Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Lex the Great here. In this video, we will be converting the characters from my last video, which was a one-shot of the Shadowspire Guild, a group of four amateur adventurers who take up dangerous work to make ends meet. As they continue their episodic approach to questing, I've decided to adapt them from Cairn into Whitebox. So, in this video, we'll be doing just that. Respectively, I've carried over the three ability scores from Cairn so that there is some consistency between the last episode and the next one. Their gender remains the same, their levels remain the same, their names, and the strength, dexterity, intelligence for willpower, FYI. So let's first start with Glass. Glass, I feel, is the leader of the group, so most likely he will be perhaps the fighter, or I think the fighter most likely will be Tolman because of his 16 strength, that's very slow, lackluster dexterity of 5. So, like I said, I did carry over the ability scores along with the level 2. Now, let's go through the book here. So, what we need to do is roll up the other scores. This game does not apply much modifiers, but we can change that. So as you can see, the window here is 7 through 14 with a no modifier. 15 through 18 is a +1. And it does tell you that Whitebox doesn't give many modifiers for the range of attribute scores. You can modify the game to change the effect that these scores have. Table 1 gives you the standard range and affects your attribute scores. Feel free to change the values. For example, if you prefer the average range between 9 through 12. So what I can do is pull out the book, let's say uh, Rule Cyclops, or the cyclopedia, the rule cyclopedia for the BECMI D&D, and we can reference that, or we can stick within this book and just go with these modifiers. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the range it has here. Now, as I have played these OSR games, what I've done personally, just to kind of reiterate if you guys haven't heard me say this before, if the skill check is rather simple, or not simple, if it is a casual check, if the situation is not daunting or chaotic, voluntary basically, I will roll at or below the ability score, the attribute score. If the situation is chaotic, non-casual, I will roll and use the modifier. That is how I roll those two. Something I've tried before was to do change it from a D20 system to a 3D6 system to make it that with the bell curve. Sometimes I use the D20 to just keep it traditional, depending if on the moment. But again, that will all depend on the episode and the time of day. So let's roll our remaining three scores here for Glass. I just remembered Glass is a character from the M. Night Shyamalan movie Glass with Samuel Jackson. That's pretty funny. I will laugh my ass off if he gets a very low Constitution. Okay, let's roll for well Constitution, and look at that. Three. Let me get in the camera here. 3, 4, 5 for Constitution. So that's pretty funny. Now the low scores, which that does fall under, is -1 for Constitution. Everything else 7 through 14 is so far zeroed out. So let's do wisdom. That's pretty funny. I'm making jokes about glass, and look what happens. I score a very low 5. Now, as you can see, I'm rolling with just 3d6. I'm not using the 46 method. I want this to be a little challenging for my team here because I believe I did 46 for Karen before I was recording. So we have 5, 7, 9 for wisdom, which is going to be no modifier. And then we have remaining charisma. Charisma is going to be 5, 6. Okay. Experience bonus. So we'll get to that in a second because we have to choose the class, race, etc. Dexterity, strength. So We have to figure out what our class is to choose our um, dominant trait, our dominant attribute, which will give us a modifier. So the charisma modifier is something I typically ignore. Let's see here. Let's choose a class. Let's just jump straight to that. Let's do, I'm thinking based on his attributes, Glass, like I said, was the leader in my eyes. Trying to figure out what would be suitable for the current trend of his attributes. The cleric are all armed priests who serve a particular alignment, religion, or patron deity. I don't, perhaps a cleric, though his intelligence is 11. They cast divine spell. Now for magic, I typically don't resort to your standard OSR spell casting. I use Cairn. I love using the Cairn spell books because they're one-time use. Typically, they backfire on you. It's very challenging, chaotic. I like that kind of magic, and it's simple too. Either spell books or scrolls, stuff like that. So I'm thinking of skipping cleric. Definitely not the fighter. That will be our barbarian friend in the coming moments. Magic user, the thief, which she's definitely not a thief. Now we're getting to the character races. So this game just has those classes. Perhaps we can choose the cleric, I'm assuming now. So out of the four, because I will be basically giving these four to our team, the thief, I definitely know who will be a thief. All right, so he'll be the cleric. I'm not too familiar with clerics in general. For what it says here, let's see. Cleric is a champion of his faith and moral alignment. The cleric might be a sinister witch hunter or exorcist of demons, a shining knight of the faith. That most likely will be what I'll choose, or a secret agent in some temple hierarchy. Since many of the cleric's abilities are oriented toward healing and protecting, they tend to play a support role depending on during combat. However, they are able to stand shoulder to shoulder with parties fighters if need be. At least for a while, clerics must be either lawful good or chaotic evil. There are no neutral clerics unless the referee decides otherwise. Okay, so let's see. Are there any requirements for choosing a cleric based on these game rules? I just want to make sure. So turning the undead is definitely new territory for me. That'll be really interesting to try once we get to that. But it looks like the cleric definitely has some specs here with spells and abilities with his turn undead. So we can always refer to this sheet, obviously, if we run into these kind of characters. So it says referees who wish to limit the use of turn undead ability might try to count this as merely a first level spell, cleric spell. Again, it seems if I stick with my Cairn route, I won't even use turn undead. That won't even happen. Which further from OSR, unfortunately, but at least keeping it simple for me on the mechanic side. Let's figure this out together. So I'm thinking I'm definitely gonna do a cleric. So let's put in cleric here. And weapon and armor restrictions because of secret religious practices, clerics may only use blunt weapons, club, flail, mace, etc. Might change that. And the only missile weapon they are allowed to use is oil. Again, I might change that. So clerics receive a +2 bonus on saving throws versus poison paralysis unless alternate saving throw matrix is used. So I'll just do a +2 on saving throws. Okay. The four possible character classes, game the referee, fighter, magic user, thief. Okay, next we're going to do his hit die. So because he's level 2, he is at 2 hit die. And I usually do the leveling system based on the milestone. This gives him a ability to use one spell. But in my worlds, they will all be able to use spells. However, the intelligence is going to be tied to that. And his intelligence is not impressive. It's good though. So his saving throw, which I incorrectly put here at level 2, is 14. And I will be using ascending AC, not the descending AC. So let's roll 2d6s for him. I did not carry over the HP from the last game. So let's see what he'll get. 10. That's doable. So he has 2 hit die, max of 10, current 10. And then let's see what skills he has. Obviously, that the turn undead could be debatable. So at 10th rank, he can establish a temple. Experience bonus for wisdom. Wisdom is the primary attribute for clerics. It's obvious. So 5, which he has a 9. So clerics with a wisdom of 15 or more receive a 10% exposure, 5% for normal, 5% because this is the prime attribute for the class. So, well, I don't track HP typically, but I'm going to put it in here anyways, just for the mechanic of it. So 5%. So turn the undead. Lawful clerics only have the ability to turn the undead. Is he going to be lawful? If I see him as the leader currently, then, or if I see the fighter as the leader, changing my mind as usual, Tolman will most likely be the fighter. Tolman's the brute, so he's definitely not going to be the leader. So I'm going to say that he, Glass, will remain the leader. So let's give him the lawful alignment. Sticking with the 3 lawful, neutral, chaotic, or evil. Uh, this gives us turn the undead. So lawful clerics have the ability to turn the undead, causing them to flee or destroy them outright. When a turning attempt is made, roll 3d6 and consult the turn undead table for the result. One turn attempt may be made per encounter. Okay, so like I said, I'm still questioning if I will use this. Turn the undead. Let's just put it in my abilities here. Turn the undead. And I will think about it. I don't want to completely just ignore it. We can always have fun with that if it comes to be. It says once per encounter, and there's a table right there. Okay, so let me just skip to the book here and go jump over past these other classes. We have the elf. Okay, so we got to choose a race for this for glass. We have the dwarf. We have the elf. We have, let's see, elf variant. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to make him. I might make the elf a thief, or make our thief the elf. So this book only shows the dwarf and the elf. So that's it. I just noticed that now, which is totally fine. Okay, so a little confusing on my part. I thought there'd be a human section, but I'm definitely gonna make him a human. All right, next we'll be doing jumping over to equipment. So we have adventuring gear, gold. Let's roll a currency, not tied from the last video. So he will have. Let's see. Do they use the times 10 method? I'm going to say yes on that. So he'll have, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 90 gold, perhaps. 9 gold. Thinking of doing 90 gold. You know what? To make it kind of canonically acceptable, we'll say they all got awarded by the town's elder from where they fought off those hobgoblins in the last video. So they all got a certain share of gold. Let's give him some items, shall we? So venturing gear. We have equipment. So I'll give him a backpack, which will hold 30 pounds of items. We have a garlic grappling hook hammer helmet. Holy symbol, we'll do that. And then we'll do, let's see, lantern, pole rations for the typical 7 days. Or tell you what, 3 days. Let's do that instead. Spellbook, which again I'm not going to include yet. Spikes, torches. Let's do torches times 6. Then that's it for him. So now we'll do weapons. Again, it said he can only use blunt weapons. I might jerry rig that. I might homebrew it to something else. But I'm going to give him a, well, you know what? Let's see what it says. I'm hopping over the place, which is pretty common for my videos, but that makes it even more challenging for myself. Let's see. Let's go back to his requirements or his type of weapons he can use. Club, flail, mace, etc. Well, those aren't terrible. Mace is at the 1d6. We'll give him a flail. I can see him holding that. They're pretty funny to see. Flail. We'll give him a little dagger too. Okay, so flail is a. Oh, I got to put flail in the weapons here. Whoops. Flail is a 1d6. Okay, then we gotta do a dagger. 1d6 minus 1. There we go. And then his armor. What can he wear? To that. Cleric. Doesn't say. Well, he does in this picture. He's obviously wearing a full knight, an often of a knight. So I'm gonna give him. Uh, we'll give him plate mail or leather. Let's say plate mail. That is going to be +6, so ascending AC. That'll give us an AC of. Let's see, what was no AC would be? I'm going to say 10, so 16. That's all I'm going to give him. No helmet, no shield. Okay, for no missile items, experience, I think we're set for our friend here. To hit is at 0. All right, the rest is the game rules. All right, let's go back to the first page, and we'll now roll up Tolman. Tolman is our brute. He's the big guy. So glass is complete. Let's just double check here. He's lawful. Yep, we have Turn the Undead. We have some items, and we have his armor, and he's all set. So I'll put this off to the side here. Let's get the brute over here. Okay, close this for now. There's only 3d6. He has 16 strength, which is incredibly high. Wow. Okay. Did not expect that. Well, that's just his constitution. So 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is good. For constitution, I'll take that. Especially after 3d6. 4, 5, 6 for wisdom, which is kind of expected. But his intelligence is 12, which, again, he's a smart guy for what I'm trying to make him out to be. 10, 12 for charisma. So intimidation is going to be his strong suit, hopefully. Now we got to do the modifiers, which there wasn't much. We have another -1 for this one. 16 is actually a +1. Maybe what I could do is use those modifiers during the casual rolls. Perhaps. We'll see. All right. Now we got to choose. Let's see. We got to choose our. Well, he'll be a fighter. That's obvious. And that will go. Our experience bonus will go up, I think, 10%, but we'll wait for that in a second. Character, I'm not worried about charisma modifiers. He's our fighter, so let's go. Let's jump over the fighter here. Fighter is always it's one of my favorite classes. Uh, so he's gonna be a fighter. Because his dex is so low, I'm thinking he'll be a dwarf too. Let's just make that happen. I can kind of see that now. He's a short brute. His hit die is 2, so saving throw is 13. To hit is a +1. Okay, so 13. Now, one thing I didn't know where to put to hit is a +1 here. So I think I put that right down the bottom. So I can remember that for rolling the attack roll. I just see a +1 bonus on saving throws. Okay. So I'm sorry, +2 bonus on the mod, if I'm putting that in the right spot. 2d6 for his health. Okay. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so he has 7 health. His hit die is 2, 7, 7. Okay, fighter skills, establish stronghold. That's a level 9. We're not worried about that. Strength is a prime attribute, which means his strength of 15 plus is a 5%. Okay, so I was mistaken. I thought it was 10. Good, which he is at a 16. Combat Fury. Let's see. Weapon, has no restrictions, obviously. Combat Fury. Against foes of 1 hit die or fewer, fighters get 1 attack per level each combat round. Wow. So 2 attacks. So Combat Fury. That's great. I like that. Okay. That's going to be last arrangement. Now we got to check on the dwarf. So character advanced dwarves, you can choose between 2 classes, fighter or thief, right? We got that. Weapon, like human dwarfs, have been trained in warfare. No restrictions. Fighting giants, ogres, and similar giant type creatures such as trolls are not good at fighting dwarves and only inflict half the normal damage against them. Okay, so fighting giants. I remember that one from the old OD&D. Fighting giants. Gotta remember that too. I might forget that quite often, I'm afraid. Fighting giants, keen detection, are good at spotting traps, slanting passages, construction while underground. Okay, I'll write that down. This is definitely someone you want to have during a dungeon crawl. Saving throw dwarves do not use magic or are somewhat immune to its effects. They receive a +4 saving throw versus magic. Wow, so that bumps up to a +6. Okay. This saving throw, this mod box, I'm making it for everything. I know I'm kind of breaking the rules there, but that is how I'm seeing it. So languages, for campaigns to give either race its own dialect, dwarves should be able to speak with gnomes, goblins, orcs, and kobolds. Okay. So let's say we'll put that in notes background. So languages. We'll say I'm assuming I'll speak common. So gnomes, goblins. We have orcs and kobolds. All right, cool. Great. And then we got to do the equipment smudging. So what should he have? Let's see. I think a bottle for some reason. We have a case, crowbar. That definitely sounds like something you would carry around. Flint steel garlic hammer helmet. I think a helmet would be suitable for him as a fighter, so I'll make that give him a +1. Lantern, perhaps a lantern. Oil, pole, rations. We'll give him rations. The usual ×3. Rope, shovel is something he probably would have. I know one of my characters before, Cairn, was a grave digger. I think it was him. A tent, thieves' tool, torches as usual. I forgot to give my guy a water skin. Sorry about that. Needs to drink water. Still water skin. There we go. Because I just see it here. I'm like, yeah, he needs a water skin. I want to give them all the basics, and then things that I feel like they would have based on their class rates. Okay, so armor class. Let's see. His is based on what he's wearing. Let's choose his weapon. He's definitely going to have a big sword, so we'll say let's do a long sword, which is going to be 1d6. Right? And then we'll give him a secondary weapon, perhaps a battle axe. I guess it's not really a secondary weapon. 1d6 +1. Okay, armor. Definitely give him plate mail. That gives him +6. Wow. And a helmet, or a shield, which is also +1. So his AC is pretty good. We have the 16, 17, 18. Great. Exactly where I wanted to be. And then dwarf alignment. Let's get to that here in a second. Playing the game. So let's see. Alignment, I think it's further back. There it is. Yeah, let's see. In general, we have law, chaos, neutrality. I think he'll be neutral or chaos. Chaos corresponds to being evil. I don't. Let's try neutral. I think it's gonna be neutral. I don't want him to be evil. Neutrality. Okay, so he appears to be. We have all the modifiers for the attributes. We have his name. His AC is done. We have the hit bonus, the bottom there, which I didn't check for the cleric actually. Does he receive one to hit? Nope, not until level 4 actually. So we're quite some ways away. Gold pieces, which I will do the same. He got a reward from last time ×10 on a 3d6 roll. 5, 7, 80. Okay, so 80 gold pieces, not bad. All right, so he is complete. So Tolman is good to go. Now we have our mystery character, magic user. Harper, 18 intelligence. That's no doubt that's a magic user. Okay, so we're doing the usual here. 3d6. So we got 2, 4, 6 for Constitution. I'll take that. I'm not expecting him to be very defensive or physically fit. Oops. Okay, so 6, 11, 12, 13 for Wisdom. Good. As long as his Wisdom and Charismas are good shape, I'll be fine with that. And then Charisma, sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's acceptable. Okay, so applying the modifiers as usual, we have +1 for the intelligence. We have -1 for constitution. That's it. Alrighty. Next, we have alignment. He's definitely going to be lawful or good, or lawful, sorry. Lawful. Okay, hit points. As we get to the class here, magic user. Magic user. Okay. He's going to be human. Magic user. Let's see. 25. We have 1+1 on. Wow, that's it for his HP. For his hit die. Experience bonus. Magic users. Let's see. It's intelligence plus 15 grants and 5%. Additional 5% to all bonuses. Okay, so HP bonus 5%. That's if I use HP, or I'm sorry, XP bonus. Spellcasting. What was it? Book, spells. Okay, so I will put spellcasting in here. Maybe in my world, not everybody can wield a spell book or a scroll. Only people have pursue magic. Saving throw is a +2 on that, and then for him, I'm sorry. Oh, my female is the thief. Never mind. I thought it was the female character for a second. Saving throw is a 14 for the level 2, and it's a 1+1, so we have to roll 2d6 or 1d6, and that will be his health. Oops. 5 plus 1, that's only 6. Okay. So 1+1, and then 6 max, 6 current. All right, good. Human, we got that covered. The thief, which will be next. All right, let's see what he'll be carrying around. Definitely a, let's see, a case or map or scroll. Let's do a case. Give him a spell book. That will be possible. Again, spells, I'm favoring Cairn, but I don't want to leave out other alternate options. Crowbar, flint, steel, grappling hook, hammer, helmet, definitely not. Lantern, we'll do a mirror. Rations times, we'll do 3 as usual. Rope, shovel, spellbook, which I got there. Spikes, a tent. We'll say he has the tent for the group. Torches, times 6. Water skin. That's it. Weapon. I'll give magic user a staff, which is a d6. A 1d6. Also a dagger, which is a 1d6 minus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to say he has enchanted robe or enchanted cloak or robe. So that'll give him a very minuscule +2. Enchanted robe +2. So that'll put him at a 12. Not impressive, but not cheating the system here. So next, that's it. Gold. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 90 gold pieces. We have everything filled in. He's a human, speaks common, male. Okay, good. I think that's it for our magic user. Now we go to our final player character, the thief. So I'm gonna right off the bat, I know it's a thief and an elf. Okay, now we gotta roll up our scores, which we don't need the book open for that. Okay, so the first one is 7. Let's see, so you guys can see it. 6, 7, 8, 9 for Constitution. That's acceptable. Wisdom, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's decent. Definitely needs a good wisdom for a thief. And then charisma, which is also useful. 6, 7 for charisma. So not impressive, but not terrible. Alrighty, let's finish this off, shall we? Nice. So, no modifiers besides dexterity, which is good. +1 on that one. That's it. Yep, average for everything else. So, now we need to go to the class, which we know we are a thief. Level 2, we'll say, okay, thief, weapon restrictions, agile, skill in combat, backstab. Okay, that's a skill. Saving throw +2, bonus. Okay, and then the saving throw here is 13 based on level 2. 2 hit die, no modifier on the hit scale. Okay, health I rolled up was 5, 6, 7, so that's 2 hit die, 7, 7 again. Backstab thievery. Thieveries are stealthy, light-footed. Thievery can be used for any number of, okay, stealth-based actions. On this time, for pickpocketing. All right, three references to 1d6. So I got to put thievery down here. I'm assuming this ability the referee rolls 1d6. The result of the roll is equal to or lower than their rating. So right now our thievery rating is 2. So I'll put number 2. Actually, I'm guessing that's going to be 1 through 2 on a d6. So I'll just put 1 through 2 on a d6. Then it goes up after that. Okay, hopefully I remember that. Establishing guild, 9th level, not worried about it. 15 plus on dexterity gives us a 5% bonus, which we do have. Okay, no bonus on the hits. Got that down. The dwarf, which we are going to be moving forward here. Oh, elf. I can't forget about that. Elf. So, character advancement. Elves may use either fighter or magic class advancement charts to be advanced to the starting adventure. Let's see, they're typically allowed. Did I break the rules and choose a fighter or choose a thief for an elf? Can they not be thieves? Whatever. Moving on. Let's see. Elves get an extra +1 to hit or damage when fighting goblins, orcs, intelligent undead, or lycanthropes. They're also immune to paralysis caused by undead, such as ghouls. Okay, so that's definitely something to be considered. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to write that down, how to translate that to here in this little space that we got. So, weapon, elves, elves getting +1 to hit. Let's see. I'll just say +1 attack bonus to goblins and orcs. Orcs. And then smart, I'll just do a little enter here. Undead and lycanthropes, which I will put a little, can't write that all here, so lichen. All right, keen detection. Elves are good at spotting hidden and concealed doors. All right, so keen detection. For a lot of these skills, what I might do is just choose the lowest roll. If I roll at or under for my ability score, my attribute score, I might just go that, except compared to the usual OSR method of 1d6. That's just how I might do that. So let's see. Now we got to do items, equipment. Now there is a little note here regarding equipment, weapon damage, optional. In the original game, all weapons did 1d6 regardless of type. White box provides some slight variation. Play the original game as it was written. Simply ignore all variations of weapon damage. They all inflict 1d6 regardless of whether weapon's two-handed, sword, or dagger. So there is some similarity. Okay, what would the thief have? Let's see. Bedroll. Let's do grappling hook. And then a pole, perhaps. Do a pole. Rations times three. Rope, of course. Can't forget the rope. Oh yeah, let's do neutrality. The alignment, almost forgot. Spellbook. Let's do spikes. We got 12 of them. Thieves' tools. Torches. And then water skin. Times six for the torches. And that's it. Now we gotta do the weapons. Can't spell neutrality wrong. There we go. Uh, what should be his weapon? Obviously a dagger. 1d6 minus 1. And then we'll give him a hand axe. 1d6. We'll give him a bow too. We'll give him a long bow, which is a 1d6 standard. His AC. We'll do rogue. We'll do a cloak, which will give him a +2. Give him a hood +2. So he's at 14. All right, gold. I know about this. 1d6 or 3d6. Oh, nice. 6, 12. Wow. So 14. 140 gold. So he got the most pieces. Oh my gosh, I just saw the languages here, which she, that's right. It's a she. I keep saying I hope I was not saying he the entire time. I completely forgot. Elf, let's see what languages they speak. Elvish, obviously, you got right up in there. I completely forgot about that. Dwarf, the elf. So let's see, languages. Okay. For campaigns that give each race its own dialect, elves should be able to speak gnolls. Okay. So happy there's a little section down here. I completely missed that. Goblins, orcs, and then hobgoblins. Oh, we were just dealing with them too. And I realize now that I wrote all the languages under notes and background for Tolman. So gnomes, goblins, orcs, and then kobolds. There we go. So obviously, I don't think I'm going to bother drawing a Mona Lisa for each character, but we have Tolman, our fighter, level 2, a lot of armor. We have Glass, who will be our self-proclaimed leader. Let's put Glass at 16 armor class. Our human cleric. Then we have our thief, who we just created, Cormac, an elf, and our magic user, who is Harper, human. So as far as order goes, I'll have the leader, cleric, at the top. I'll have Magic is usually last. Thief, the brute is usually second. That's typically how we do it. So we have cleric, we have glass first, Tolman second, Cormac third, and Harper fourth. So there we go. That was our characters we created, or I should say, adapted from Cairn to White Box. This copy of White Box. I saw that there's a different version of White Box. It has that black and white cover with it. So I don't know how much difference there is between the two. This is the one I found out in the wild, and it's been on my shelf for probably a few weeks. I believe I've talked about it. I don't recall. I really don't keep detailed notes in my videos, but I definitely have had this for some time. So it's just now I want to make the next episode of the Shadowspire Guild one-shot series using White Box. So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.